Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and this is episode 14 of Season 4 of our FIFA 12 Sunderland Manager Mode commentary, and we are now in the month of January, which means the transfer window is now open. We can bring in and sell off players, but we have three matches for you this episode. First off, we have an away match against Tottenham, followed by another away match, this time at Wolverhampton, and then lastly we have another away match in the FA Cup at Burnley. So that should be a reasonably tough lot of matches, obviously against Burnley. You'd think it would be easy, but you never know. And as voted by you guys, the goal of the episode, it was really close this time around between the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain goal and also the Belhanda goal, but it has to go to Belhanda, so thank you guys for leaving a comment on that. And as we saw last episode, Sebastian Larsson does unfortunately want to leave the club, so I've been told by the board of directors that I have to sell them no matter what, and Ajax came in with an £8 million offer for Sebastian Larsson. I don't think that's actually enough for him personally, but I have to sell him no matter what, and it is only £8 million. Now take in mind that I don't have a lot of cash to spend, but I do need to bring in a replacement during the January transfer window, and these are the sort of players that I have picked up during the comments that you've left in all sorts of episodes. I've just been sort of looking around, so we have players such as Pjanic, Diego, Shinji Kagawa, Marcus Henriksen, Alan Dzagoev, Johan Gorkov. Jan Envia isn't really a centre attacking midfielder player. That's the sort of player I want. I want an attacking player, so please leave a comment on which one you think I should bring in, and I will attempt to bring them in, considering I don't really have a lot of cash to spend at this point in time. I am going to have to flog off some other players, but in the Premier League table we are in third place, 3 points behind the table toppers Manchester City, so our title challenge is still very much alive. We got a lot of points last episode, so hopefully we can continue that. On to our first match against Tottenham, and the Tottenham team isn't really looking that great, if I am honest. They don't really have, the great players they usually do, like Luka Modric, and well, that's about it really, but I'm only joking, Tottenham fans. But yeah, the match started off relatively slowly, in all honesty. There wasn't really too much action happening. I mean, they just sort of were pumping it forward to Danny Welbeck. I'm just trying to remember who was there. It was Welbeck, and they were just sort of pumping it forwards in, but there was a little bit of interest in the 16th minute. Kevin Gamero on the flank, only really Xherdan Shaqiri in the centre, somehow picks him out, and look at that header. Of all players to score a header on my team, I did not think it would be Xherdan Shaqiri popping up to score that header. And on the counter, we are really strong on the counter. I mean, just think of the players we have: Kevin Gamero, Xherdan Shaqiri, Oxlade-Chamberlain. They are quick and setting on, playing through here. As you can see, Kevin Gamero, all he has to do is just finesse it into the bottom hand corner. Can't quite get his angles right, really unlucky there. Really close though, and Herrero Gomez can just watch it go past his post. We had a shot there with Bonner, actually, of all people, but wasn't really the greatest shot. It did go out for a corner, but nothing came of it, unfortunately. Tottenham did have a few chances of their own. As you can see here, the shot from Welbeck wasn't really that great, and it went past Courtois' post. If it was on target, probably Courtois would have been able to stop it, but just look at this here. Through ball to Sessegnon, tries for the header. Herrero Gomez palms it out, comes out to Oxlade-Chamberlain. He lays it off to Kevin Gamero. He has a shot. Herrero Gomez laps onto the post, and then Xherdan Shaqiri has a shot, and he palms out again. And Herrero Gomez with some absolute heroic stuff there. That was pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie, but some lapsing concentration in defence. Kevin Gamero grabs the ball, takes it past Gomez and puts it in the back of the net to put us 2-0 up against Tottenham. And for all those heroics which Gomez pulled off, that happens, and I feel really sorry for him actually, because to save all those three shots from Sessegnon, Kevin Gamero and Xherdan Shaqiri is something pretty specialist, I'm not going to lie. But of course, straight after I score, Tottenham actually start attacking, and Aaron Lennon puts it in the back of the net. Maybe Courtois could have done a little bit more about that, I don't know. He seemed a bit kind of easy just to let that go past him. Kevin Gamero with some great footwork there. Sessegnon with the shot, and Gomez can palm that out. So I decided to bring on Williams for James Milner to sort of just keep things nice and simple. I don't want to go too much attacking, and look at that tackle there from Bonner. Otherwise Tottenham were through on goal with a chance, but that tackle was absolutely fantastic from Bonner, and we're just sort of playing around now, nice and simple, and Kevin Gamero taking it past the defender with his speed, and then smashes it into the back of the net. A really clinical finish from him, a great finish into the bottom hand corner, and sadly for Herrero Gomez, he can't get down to it. I do make a couple of substitutions. I bring on Lucas Podolski and James McLean for Shaqiri Shaqiri and Kevin Gamero, but at this point Tottenham really started to pile on the pressure. They tried to get that goal back, but we were solid in defence, and we do manage to clear it out, and that was the end of the match at 3-1. So a really important 3 points, that are brilliant 3 points. In fact, I know Tottenham are in like, I don't know, 12th or some position like that, but to actually have the 3 points at Tottenham is pretty impressive. And we are going to be selling Jack Colbeck to some Italian team, I think. So, you know, it's not a lot of cash, but he doesn't really play at all, and I think keeping him around isn't really the greatest idea. So anyway, on to our second match against Wolverhampton now, and of course, look at these lovely rainy conditions, and you know, whenever you play a match away from home and it's these horrible rainy conditions, you are in for it. It is going to be a tough time, and of course, that's how it starts out. Kevin Doyle with a shot. Courtois has to palm it out for a corner, and then Milias has a free kick, lofts it in to Fletcher, and he heads it down, comfortable in the end for Courtois, but that is a chance and a half right there. It was only until the 25th minute we actually managed to attack and actually managed to get some sort of attacking move together. Kevin Gamero with a brilliant ball over the top to Oxlade-Chamberlain, takes it on his head. I mean, that's kind of your own interesting type of control. It's kind of the same thing Cristiano Ronaldo did, but, you know, each to their own, and we actually go off to an actual attack now. We actually have an opportunity. Xherdan Shaqiri through on goal, thinks about finessing it, instead just takes it past the keeper and finesses it into the back of the net. A great finish there and a great take past the keeper from Xherdan Shaqiri, and gives us the lead and on course for the 3 points. But of course, at home, Wolves are always a strong team. Fletcher just taking it past my defenders like they aren't even there. Some really poor defending, but then he really picks out the wrong option. He really should have tried to pass that across rather than shooting, and in the end Courtois can palm that out really easy. And Hunt this time in the area takes a bit of a smack there, but lays off to Fletcher, and what a block that was from Clichy. Just managed to stop this shot. That was probably heading in to equalise, but a great block from Clichy, and at half time it is 1-0 to Sunderland. So we are on course for a great result here, but of course you can never count out the opposition. And what is Dede doing there? What are you doing, Dede? That was a terrible challenge. Tries to tackle Fletcher on the edge of the area and just completely floors him, completely takes him out. And Kevin Doyle steps up and hits the post, actually. I was really surprised. I thought that was heading in. Maybe Courtois could have got to it if it was on target. But on the counter-attack now, Xherdan Shaqiri, set through on goal. Just taking it past Stephen Ward like he isn't there, then tries for the shot. A pretty good save from Wayne Hennessy, but Kevin Gamero with a shot come tackle puts it into the back of the net to put us 2-0 ahead. So that was a bit of luck there, and from the penalty, what a counter-attack. Wolves must be absolutely hitting themselves right now that they had a penalty, they could have equalised, and instead they find themselves 2-0 down. Kevin Gamero then had a shot, a pretty nice curling effort, but in the end never really heading in. Pretty nice effort though. I decided to bring on Fernandinho for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Chamberlain hasn't really had too much of an impact in this match, and Fernandinho is of course a quick and tricky player, but a great through ball in from Xherdan Shaqiri actually picks out Fernandinho, and somehow I've actually scored 2 headers in this episode, each from really small players, so very strange circumstances. So I'm going to bring off Yunus Belhanda and James Milner for Amir Cohen and Williams, as of course to just keep this 3-0 lead. I am happy with this lead. We had another chance though in the last couple of stages. Kevin Gamero with a shot, some pretty nice passing leading up to it, but it matters not. At full time it is 3-0 to Sunderland, and at last we have a clean sheet. My God, we haven't had a clean sheet in ages, and Wolves must have been impressed with Cohen's performance there in the last stages of the match. They came in with a 2.3 million offer, but I'm not going to accept it because that is basically nothing whatsoever. So then they came in with another offer, this time a little bit more than they offered last time. It is actually his transfer value, but I am going to decline it because he makes a pretty good squad player and he's always useful to have around, you know, to come on. And he's actually going to be playing this match in the FA Cup against Burnley, as they aren't really strong opposition. I don't really want to play my, strongest 11, so I am playing with a few other players. Of course, Courtois keeps his starting lineup for that brilliant clean sheet. Well, he didn't really have a lot to do with it, but he had a pretty large impact. And of course, against this lower opposition, they are always going to have chances, and some guy called Rodriguez, he's probably really a blatantly obvious bloke, but I have no idea who he is, had an early chance, maybe should have taken it. Then Fernandinho had a chance of his own, had all the time in the world. I don't know why the goalkeeper did not come out, just sort of stayed there, had no idea what was happening, but a pretty nice take there from Fernandinho, and what a shot from Cohen right there, really trying to, say to him, no, I want to stay at the club with that shot, because that was a pretty good shot. The goalkeeper was equal to it though, but Burnley really started to pile on the pressure on the attack. I couldn't clear it out no matter how many times I tried, and in the end Rodriguez put Burnley 1-0 up against us, and that was some pretty terrible defending, if I am honest. There's slide tackles all over the place, and again Burnley were on the attack. Rodriguez with another chance, and luckily enough Courtois was equal to it, and then an absolute horror mistake there from their own goalkeeper, and Podolski, as clinical as ever when he ever has the opportunity, chips it over the keeper. That was a pretty beautiful finish, although in all honesty that goal shouldn't really have counted because usually the AI isn't that stupid, but I guess I will take anything for granted because playing against lower opposition in any competition, the Premier League, Carling Cup, FA Cup, is always just so hard. And I know last episode I got a little bit of slam for, saying, oh, EA scripting and all that. But, against lower opposition, it should be a lot easier than this. And we do get a stroke of luck here. Fernandinho getting completely taken out in the penalty area. He wins the penalty. And Lucas Podolski, is he going to score it? Of course he is. He is so clinical from the penalties. But I think he's had like 3 penalties. And he's literally scored all of them. So at half-time it is 2-1 to Sunderland. And on course for going through to the next round of the FA Cup. But really then, Burnley just put on the pressure completely. It was really hard after this. I didn't have a single chance in the second half whatsoever. It was just a constant attack from Burnley. I mean, look at that through ball to Rodriguez, all-time old, and Courtois really has to get credit there because he came out early and he stopped the ball. And he claimed it for himself, but Burnley were just all over me completely. I didn't have a single chance, and they do actually equalise. However, it was offside, so luckily enough for that. But they did have a chance in the final few minutes. Hines playing it off to some bloke, and it's just all over the place. I can't clear it out whatsoever, and it's just all over the place. In the end, they do have a shot, but Courtois manages to palm it out. Some pretty crazy stuff there from Courtois, but in the end it is full-time 2-1 to Sunderland. A really quite lucky result in the end, so I'm happy to advance to the next round. And Wolves came in, and this time with a huge offer for Cohen of 3.7 million, so I am going to be accepting that offer. Sorry, there was another offer from Hanover, but it wasn't really enough. So anyway, at the end of this episode in the Premier League, and we have now moved up to second place above Arsenal, only on goal difference though. We're not above them on points and still 3 points behind Manchester City. So our title challenge is looking relatively strong. Hopefully we can carry on and perhaps even go above Manchester City. But in the bottom 3 is of course Nottingham Forest and others. And now for goal of the episode, and there are a few options this time around. We have the Kevin Gamero goal against Tottenham, takes it past the defender with ease and then smashes it into the bottom corner. And then lastly we have the Xherdan Shaqiri goal against Wolverhampton, played through on goal, pretty nice counter-attack, takes it past the keeper, and as you can see, puts it in the back of the net. So please leave a comment on which one you think should be goal of the episode. I will be tallying them up and then I'll have it in the next episode. And now for player of the episode, and again it was really hard. I was sort of stuck between Xherdan Shaqiri or Kevin Gamero. But in the end, I decided to give it to Kevin Gamero because he scored quite often and he was quite important. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, if you could leave a thumbs up because it really helps us out and all that good stuff. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed.